Are you concerned or worried at all about the tax increase?
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of big projects going on in the city, so quite concerned about that. With the school and the water, and now potentially more tariffs and things. So sure, it's absolutely a concern.
Yeah. And any candidates that you're rooting for or that you think will represent some of the issues that are important to you?
I had Buddy called me up directly ahead of the election and had a great conversation with him. So I've got high hopes for that. So I'm looking forward to it.
Speaking of the school budget, what are your thoughts on the proposed school budget this year? Do you think 14.6K is enough to teach a student? What are your thoughts on what they propose?
Thank you for your facts. Yes, so our per pupil spending, we are very grateful for the state of Vermont to have passed Act 127, which is a law this is its second year in existence that gives weighted per pupil, basically corrected the weights and made them more equitable. So we do believe that our investment and citizens of Burlington, their investment in our per pupil spending is equitable and yes, the factors that go into our spending and our budget, healthcare costs are our largest investment, our personnel and our teachers and our staff. And so I really would call upon the state and our state leaders to address the rising healthcare costs. It's been double digits for the last 3 years, and it's not sustainable.
I usually mail in a ballot, but this year it was a complicated ballot and I needed to think more about it and a little longer, so I came to vote. Most of the funds were for things like infrastructure, and I'm a real supporter of public infrastructure, and so I voted for those items. I thought it's critical for a city to do that part of what needs to be done in order for us to have housing or economic development or parks or recreation or anything. You need to have good, sidewalks and sewers and water and all that. So that was all on the ballot. I was supportive of that.
I think both Buddy and Jen are great candidates, and I'm excited they're running. And it's big for us to have a new city council person in the role they're filling. So I think that's exciting. I don't know if this is a new role for Michael Healy, but I always see him walking around, and I know he's a big. I believe in his politics and the way he thinks about things. So I'm glad he's on the ballot. And then there are all these amazing initiatives for the city, so I feel very positive about them.
I voted yes to ban firearms in bars that serve and restaurants that serve alcohol and have that liquor license in Burlington. I think it speaks for itself. I think we don't need dangerous weapons in places where people might be inebriated or have, less judgment in those moments. So that felt like a very clear and obvious yes for me.